Hi guys, welcome back to Gene with Janae. I'm Janae, an African American woman navigating life between America and Africa. Welcome back to my channel. Hi guys, so first of all, navigating life between America and Africa. What does that mean to me? I get the questions, I get the questions, living life between America and Africa. What does that mean? What does it mean when you say you live in Gambia part-time, you live in Senegal, and you live in the United States? Do you spend 4 months in one place, 4 months in the next place, and 4 months in the other place? Not quite. So I'm just going to break it down a little bit today, the best that I can, to try to share with you a little bit about what that lifestyle looks like for me. Unfortunately, I have to stand, even though that's not helping, because mosquitoes everywhere. Ow. Anyway, so what that looks like for me, so as you know, my first goal for Africa was to live here permanently, right? I tried that in 2017. I stayed for about a year. I left due to a family situation. Then I came back and I tried to do that again in 2022. I fell pregnant and decided the best option for me at that time was to come back to the US to have my baby. Between those 2 times, I've been back and forth to Africa, staying months at a time. So what does it mean when I say I live between America and Africa? That's what I choose to do now. That's the lifestyle that I've set for myself now. I see that extremely long stays for me never really works out how I want it to work out, and I now know why, because that's not in my calling. Maybe in the future, sometime in the future, it may be in my cards, but right now that's not the hand that I was dealt. I've stayed for I've stayed in Africa, maybe I told you up to a year. Both of those times I stayed was up to a year. Then it was for months at a time, like maybe 3 months here, maybe 6 months there. But I've never exceeded a year. I've never exceeded a year. And I do have a job where I'm off on the summers, in the summers, but I can't really say that's contributing to my lifestyle much, because the times that I have stayed the longest has been during I would say spring, early fall months. There's been times that my daughter, because my son wasn't traveling with us yet, my daughter has missed maybe the last month of school, or the beginning of the school year due to our traveling schedule. So it's never really just like one time that I'm traveling. I'm traveling when I feel like traveling. I'm traveling when I have the money. I have quit jobs. I'm telling you, this lifestyle is not for the weak. I have quit jobs. I have left my home and sold everything. You understand? I did that more than once. More than once. So I feel like this type of lifestyle is a lifestyle that you will sacrifice for until you are able to completely and financially have yourself in the right space to do part-time travel, part-time living. Okay, so but I will admit though, at those times I wasn't really sure that I would come back. When I left, my goal was to stay going. So it made sense to leave my job. It made sense to leave my home and just forget about stuff there and start a new life in Senegal or Gambia or wherever. But my journey started in Senegal. Senegal is my first love. I have land in Senegal. A lot of people already know that because I shared it on my social media. I have property in Senegal. Senegal is my first love. Senegal is where I laid my foundation if I wanted to stay long term. And both times I stayed in Senegal, it was long term. I never stayed more than 3 months in the Gambia. My longer stays were in Senegal, and that's simply because I have property there. But now that I gave birth to my son, who is half Gambian, because his dad, my husband, is a Gambian, we are beginning that lifestyle to live between Senegal and Gambia when we're in Africa, because he has a family here. I want him to be close to his family like I was close to my family growing up, you understand? So that's basically what it entails. You need to be financially stable to live this type of lifestyle, because both of these African countries, Senegal and the Gambia, are expensive. More expensive every time I come. I would say Gambia is more expensive than Senegal. But, but, you know, Gambia is another home for us because of my son's roots here. Okay, so let me break it down a little bit simpler. When I travel to Africa, I travel for months at a time sometimes. But now, this is a new plan. I have to set a schedule now, some type of schedule, because all the time that was in my head, everything that was in my head was to move, to repatriate, to expatriate, to be here permanently. But now I realize that that lifestyle never truly worked out for me, and it's because it's not meant to be now. It's not meant to be right now. So, yeah, I come when I want to come, basically. I come when I want to come. I'm here for the summer. In 2025, I'm here for the summer. I plan on coming back. I'm not even going to say when I plan on coming back. When I'm back, you'll know, and that's that. So I just come when I got the money. I work. Honestly, it's not that complicated. It's not some, big schedule. I just come when I got the money. I come when I have the time. I come when I need a mental break. And I stay as long as I can. That's it. That's basically it. So, that's what it looks like for me. If you're somebody who wants to do that, I would just suggest, you figure out a schedule, you get your finances in order. I will say that it's kind of easier for me now because I've been to Africa so many times. And now my son's dad, who is my husband, in the Gambia, we're pretty much set. I don't have to worry about nothing in the Gambia. In Senegal, I don't really have to worry about too much either. It's just a language barrier. Senegal is a French-speaking country. That's my biggest issue, is the language barrier. But my husband speaks Wolof, Mandinka, Fula. All of these languages are widely spoken in Senegal as well as the Gambia, so I don't have that problem. But before I met him, I was learning French. I know some Wolof. I know enough to get around. I know enough to buy what I need to buy. You understand? So, yeah, it works out in that way, and I just do what I can. And I say I live between these three places because Africa is now my home. I've been here so many times. I have property here. I know people here. When I stay, it's home for me. So I live here. But it's really not that complicated. I come when I want to come. I come when I have money, and I stay as long as I can. Period. I have roots laid down here. My son's family is from here. I have property here. So to me, this is my second home. I've been here. I know areas that the average person traveling would never know. You understand? So, yeah, that's pretty much, the lifestyle. So I will say reasons I'm not staying permanently. I can get into that. So, number one reason is the finances. Finances. You need a lot of money to live comfortable in Africa, okay? And for me, as someone coming from abroad, I can eat the food that the locals eat, but I want to live in comfort. I'm used to comfort, I'm used to an air-conditioned home. I'm used to different types of food at my reach, which is my second thing, food. I don't have access to hoagies. I don't have access to cheesesteaks. Yes, it sounds big back and fat, but that's just the truth. I want the stuff that I'm used to eating. stuff that's good. I don't want just rice. I don't want just traditional food. I don't want just fruit. Just fruit is nice, but I don't want just fruit. I want a hoagie sometime. I want big crabs, you understand, that I can get by the dozens and not have to pay an arm and a leg for it. Even though it is expensive, but it's even more expensive here from what I've seen. And them tiny little crabs, I can't do that. But yeah, it's the food, my cheeseburgers. They got cheeseburgers here, but it's not nothing on the cheeseburgers that we used to. I want my steaks, I mean, I sound real fat now. I want my mashed potatoes. I make mashed potatoes here, but I want to be able to sit in a proper restaurant and have all this good food, like Red Lobster, TGI Fridays, I'm just big bagging it, okay? I want my food. So that's number 2. Number 3, my family. Just like I want my son to be close to his family here, I want him to be close to my family in the U.S. I grew up in a tight-knit family. We're all close. So, period. I want to be with my family. And what am I at for? I like my job. I like the opportunities that I have for growth with my own business as an entrepreneur, and I just don't have that same thing here. So it's a lot of differences in that area, but I think I touched on the main. Also, the healthcare system. The healthcare system is terrible. People with money, they go abroad when they need surgery. They go abroad when they need medical care. Why? Because we have some of the best healthcare systems in the world. And that's not to like down Africa. I love Africa. Africa is developing rapidly. Africa will develop even more in the future. It's so many opportunities for growth here. But if something happens to me, or God forbid, my kids, I want to be able to be rushed to a good hospital and get care. You understand? Not to mention the resources that I'm able to get for my kids in the U.S. My daughter, she's autistic. She gets medication and behavior management. That's not here. If you got somebody with like special needs or disability like autism that needs medication, that needs therapy, you're not getting it here. Okay? So like I said, that ties back to the medical system. So these are just like some of my reasons why I decided to live between 2 countries and not repatriate fully. You understand? That's very, very important to me. But other than that, I love Africa. I will always come back to Africa. I think you can kind of see from my video that Africa is underdeveloped. It needs a lot of work. We all know that. We all know that Africa is behind in development. Okay, that's no secret. But I have the opportunity as an African American or whatever to have that option to travel back and forth. So that's the lifestyle that I want to live for me and my family. As far as my property, I will be updating you all on that in the future, because there is a lot of things I want to do here. I'm starting a nonprofit. I am continuing development. I am connecting with people in the U.S. and in Africa, finding ways to bring us together, finding ways to continue the development and stuff like that. So, that's just some of my thoughts. That's just some of the information I can give about the lifestyle that I'm living currently. So yeah, I'm currently in Africa. I've been here since the beginning of June. It is almost August. So, I'm just doing my thing, okay? And I think that's pretty much all I can say about that. I think I broke it down as best as I could. One thing absolutely I don't like about Africa is the mosquitoes. That's like the biggest thing for me. Even out of everything I named, I hate me a mosquito, child. I can't even sit outside without getting bit by a mosquito. That's why I have this. If you're going to Africa, it's citronella oil. I'll use the Noun brand. I don't think it matters as long as it's pure citronella oil. I open it, pour it on my, I can demonstrate it. That's what I was doing in the beginning of the video. Because they just everywhere. And I just put it on my arms, yep, straight like that. I haven't had any reaction from it, and I've been using this for years. Every time I come to Africa, I bring bottles of citronella oil. I bring off. I bring any type of spray. I actually have a natural spray that I found at the Dollar Tree that was $125, and it's just natural blend of oils that repel mosquitoes, and it's been working on my son because I use that on his skin. I don't use this pure citronella oil on his skin. Sometimes I'll wipe it on my arms like I just did, and then the remainder I'll put it like this on his clothes or on my clothes. But other than that, alright, I think I'm gonna wrap this video up. I thank you all for your time. I hope I explained everything well. I hope I answered any questions you may have about my lifestyle, which is living between America and Africa. So, and I mean, that's pretty much it. You got any questions? Ask them in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next video. Like, share, and subscribe.